Hey guys, and welcome back. In this video I want to have a little fun with this physics setup that I made. So actually first of all I just want to fix a little bug that I just found. For example, if I jump down from this one, you'll see something weird is happening. And the reason for that is because I now introduced a blend in. He's gonna not really blend in. Actually, he's gonna if this go ragdoll, it's gonna fire several times. He's gonna set this physics alpha constant several times to 0. So it's gonna kind of not work as we want it to. So the way to make this work a little bit better, we will drag this one in and say if we are not already in Ragdoll, make a branch and connect this one up, and these two here needs to go here. So that means that we will not go into Ragdoll if we are already in Ragdoll. So let's try that again. Alright, so there we go. Okay, so let's have some fun with this. We want to be able to shoot him, and let's see, we need a little bit more space for this. I need something to aim with, so I'm just gonna, god damn it. I'm just gonna move this over a little bit. So I'm just gonna make a quick, let's see if I can make a quick change to the third person and make a quick simulation of a first person so we can aim at something. So take the camera boom and drag it onto the mesh, and let's see, on the camera boom I want to set this to -20, and then we want to parent this to the head and zero these out. I have no idea why it floats around out here. If we play, we can now look down ourselves. And just to avoid being able to do that, let's click the character here and use control rotation. So now he rotates around with us. Alright. Okay, so actually, let me check something. I think no, never mind. So let's continue. So we want to be able to shoot. We said so let's add a sequence here because we need something to aim with. So I'm just gonna make a quick and dirty aim, or so I'll make a line trace by channel, and we are gonna fire this off from our head. Location for the head, and it's going to be our beginning. Let's see, the end is going to be get control rotation, and we're going to get the forward vector on that, and let's multiply that by some distance like 10,000 and add that to this vector. Okay, and if we hit something, we will draw debug sphere on this one, and we will draw this at the hit location. So I'm gonna give this a radius of, let's say, 5, maybe 4, and give this a lot of segments so we can see it. And let's give it a nice red color. So that means that now we can aim. Hopefully you can see that. So let me get my character starting point down to the ground. Keep switching back and forth between this. Anyway, so now we can run around and we can aim at something. So will I be able to shoot with this? So I think I'm gonna take this part and I'm gonna make that macro. Call this our aim trace, because I wanted to use this also when I actually shoot them. So let's see. I'm not gonna bother changing these names, but it's probably a good idea to do it. Let's see. We have a location coming out here. Let's see. This is gonna be okay for now. So when we press left mouse button, we're gonna make that same trace, but instead of okay, why do I have two? Oh, I see. So this one should just go, okay. Let's just, okay, get rid of this one and connect that one up. Okay. And now we don't do anything with the forward vector. So we take the forward vector, we multiply that by 10,000, and then we add this to this one. Okay, so I think this is correct now. Yeah, okay, great. So let's plug that in here and that one in here. So we're gonna make a trace line here, and if we hit something, then according to this logic, we'll come out here. If not, then it will not continue. So this is probably not the most intuitive setup, but anyway, just let's just continue with this. So let's call apply damage, apply point damage, and it needs to take a reference to whatever it's damaging, so we need that, and we have that inside here. So let's pull that out by adding a hit info, hit result, hit info, whatever, this one. So from the hit info we can see. Okay, let's also output the actor itself. Hit actor, which is going to be an actor reference. So this one. So we can feed in this one, and it's going to take the hit info here, and hit from direction is going to be where we started from, and the event instigator is going to be our controller, and damage causer is ourself, and we're not going to worry about this one. And let's give it a damage of just 1. So it doesn't really matter, it just needs to be above 0, otherwise nothing is going to happen. So that's going to fire a point damage at this location. So let's take our character here, oops, and drag a few of these guys out. Just going to duplicate a few of these, so I have something to shoot. So there we go. We have 3 guys. Actually, let me also disable our box here. It's kind of annoying. It's flying around. And let's also swing that around. So we start like this. Okay, so when we click now, nothing happens because we don't handle the damage. But a way to do this is to implement the point damage event. This one, event point damage. So this event is going to be called on one of these 3 characters, depending on who we shoot at. So what we want to do with this, we probably want to, if this was a more detailed setup, to check how much damage the character should get, and then yeah, then apply some damage to him. Okay, so anyway, and decide if he should go ragdoll or not. But in this case, I'm just gonna say, okay, he's always gonna go ragdoll. So I'm just gonna call this go ragdoll. So let's see how that looks. So now we can, if we can hit them, shoot them. So they just fall down like that and kind of falls the same way. To make this a little bit more interesting, I think it's a cool thing to add an impulse to the mesh at location. So one of these, and the impulse is gonna be okay. I'm not gonna take that one first. Well, the location is gonna be the hit location, and the bone name is gonna be the bone that we hit. And now the impulse, to begin with, I thought it was the direction, but it needs to be this shot from direction is going to be the point where we came from, and so the impulse says the direction to apply the impulse. So in order to get the correct direction, we need to calculate that by taking the hit direction and the shot from direction, and to make this kind of a good value, I'm going to take this and first normalize it. So it becomes a normal vector, a 1 length vector, and then I'm going to multiply this by some 10,000 in this example. It will work fine. And that's the impulse I'm going to apply. Okay, so if we play again, and see what happens if we shoot this guy in the leg and shoot this guy in the hip and shoot this guy in the hand. So that's pretty good start, I think. It's still a little bit boring to look at. So one thing I just realized, we have a collision capsule that's alive for these guys. So I'm just gonna make a little whoa, lots of code. I'm gonna make a little extra change. So towards the end of our event tick, all the way out here, where we set the movement mode to none and we set all this stuff here. I wanna once he is completely what do you call it, in a ragdoll state, I want to take the collision capsule component and set collision enabled to no collision, so we cannot collide with the capsule anymore. And we want to set this back to normal when let's see, when do we want to set this back? See, if we set it back at the beginning, when we press the key, let me think, because I kind of not sure when to do this. Let me think. Okay, I guess we should do this when we stand up. So yeah, once we are, not when we start getting up, but once we, actually, if this was supposed to be entirely correct, no, let's do it here. Sorry about that, I'm having a talk with myself. Let's plug this in at the end of the stand. I thought I copied it. So plug it in here and set it back to collision enabled, query and physics. Because that way when we shoot a guy, oh, okay, I fell. Okay, so now we can kick. Where did he go? Oh, we can kick him around and shoot him in the head. Okay, so one thing I kind of dislike about this is because we now blend in, it's like I kind of would expect a little bit more reaction when I shot him, and I guess let me just check what happens if we don't go ragdoll. Okay, so nothing happens, of course. So yeah, we could make a little change to this. So say instead of blending into ragdoll always, we will add a little start physics alpha and make that a float. And have that all the way over here. I'm just gonna, come on, you can do it. Okay, you cannot do it. So I'm just gonna move that to the beginning here. So, oops. And plug that one. So that means that normally when we go ragdoll, we, for example here, we start at 0. So, but when we shoot our guy, we don't want him to blend in. We want him to start immediately fully animating, blending, sorry. So when we shoot him now, it's gonna have a pretty more impact on him. Okay, so let's also add a little last thing to this, because how much time do I have on the clock? Okay, 20 minutes. Sorry, this is going to be a pretty long one. I think it's good fun. Let's see. Under the character in the physics asset, we can go into the constraints mode and select everything. And if you check on the linear limits, the advanced, we have something called linear breakable. We also have these settings on the swing, the angular limits. But let's just use the linear motion here. So if I enable this one and hover the mouse here, we can see that, okay, so this is a lot of about what this number means. So apparently it takes the mass of the body, and you should multiply that by the gravity, and then multiply that by 100, and that would give the minimum breaking force needed to break off this limb. So since I've just selected everything, I'm just going to type in instead of trying to calculate this, because I already did that. I'm just going to pick 500,000, I think. So that should allow me to shoot him, for example, like this. Shoot him in the chest and shoot him in the leg. But now I can hopefully, or maybe not. No. Yep. Okay, and that, I guess, just need to shoot him a few times. Yeah. Okay, and somebody did a bad job with the skinning, it appears. Now I can shoot him a few times and pick off his limbs, which is pretty cool, I think. Alright, so good fun. Whoops. I wonder why I fell. I have a bug. Oh yeah, I lowered this off video to 500 or 500 something. That means actually, let me put that back, because that allows me to find a line, whatever. That allows me to do something like run into god damn it, oh, we can't see anything. It allows me to run into things and kind of just fall. So if I were to put, okay, how to do this? God damn it. Anyway, never mind. Just trust me. It works. But I'm gonna increase this again so I don't constantly fall. So let's give him a headshot. And shot right in the nut sack. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm evil. Apparently I can just run through them. Okay, but my gun is really wimpy, it appears. Okay, but anyway, there's something to play around with here for sure. Come on, break! God damn it! Sorry, if you, I'm not going to show anything new. The rest of this video is just going to be me trying to shoot off this goddamn leg. Come on. Okay, just need to step on him. Thank you. So that's it for this fun and games with physics. I guess yeah, that's it for this video. If I come up with more fun stuff, I will just add to this series of tutorials. Otherwise, see you in the next. Bye bye.